Hello, my name is Adriana Flannery, and I'm doing a presentation on the many benefits that you can have of being a young multilingual. This is also my first introductory speech, so bear with me if I make a few mistakes. In this speech, you will find out the best ages for people to be able to start learning a second language. Then, next, we'll be finding out why this is the best age group and showing you how children are able to learn easier than adults. Lastly, we'll be seeing the many benefits and downsides that come with learning a second language. In all the research that I've done on this subject, I found that many things say that in between the ages of newborn to 8 years old is when children retain most information that is given to them. That is because their brain acts like a sponge with any information that's given to them. It just soaks it right up. But since when learning a second language, this is a little bit more difficult than just determining the difference between certain sounds and objects. That's why it is best to start introducing a second language to children in between 2 years of age to 7 years of age, because in this age group, they're able to tell the difference between different sounds, different objects, and different words a lot easier than newborn to 2-year-olds would be able to. Now, I get to explain why learning a second language is better and easier for younger children. First of all, adults' prefrontal cortex is far more developed than a child's. This is beautifully explained by Abdul Malik Muftow, where he says in an article, for instance, an adult will see a tennis racket exactly as it is. In contrast, a child will see a broomstick as a javelin stick. The creativity of children is caused by their prefrontal cortex, which gives them the ability to be flexible and inventive. Kids have minds that are designed to learn, and adults have minds designed to perform. This is also how children are able to turn something that is normally considered a boring task. They can turn it into a fun and easy learning game. Second, children don't get as easily embarrassed as adults do. I'm not saying that children don't get embarrassed, because lots of children have gotten embarrassed. They get stage fright, they get embarrassed with lots of little things, but they get less chance for them to get embarrassed with certain things than adults, because they have a higher self-esteem for themselves. And this means that they'll be able to do something and they won't look at their mistake as I can't do this, so I'm going to give up. They keep trying and trying and trying. Third, since children's self-esteem and their creative minds are higher than most adults, they're more willing, to take on new adventures and be able to explore their creativity a lot more than adults are able to. That's why we are the way we are, because when we were little, we did the same type of adventures as well. Next are the pros and cons of learning another language. Normally, people start out with the pros, but since there's always cons to things, I'm going to start out with the cons. In many different things, there's lots of cons. The cons in this one would be that people find that this learning a different language can be very difficult, and so they would just rather not do it. And if they find something too difficult in the beginning, then why even try? And then the other one of the other cons is opportunity cost. Like, where would you be using it in the working world? There aren't very many places that you will be using it. There are some, but not too many. And also, how useful it would be, like, if you would be traveling, or if you're in an area that has multiple languages, then you might need it. But if you're not planning on traveling, or in an area that has multiple languages frequently, then you wouldn't normally think to even need it. And also, one thing that I read about was with reading and writing. When you have a multilingual or even just bilingual brain, your brain switches when you're reading and writing. So you might be writing in English, and then you might accidentally write a Spanish word because your brain can't think of the English word at that moment. So it makes the Spanish word come out because your brain can think of that one. And so you have this random Spanish word in the middle of English. And also, there's price to learn. There's lots of memberships, books, DVDs, any kind of discs or anything that they're pretty pricey. But also, there are some apps that I have found that are free to be able to learn how to be able to speak a different language. Now, we get to speak of the pros. And the pros of it, as you can see, are a lot more. And the pros of learning a second language, you get to be able to enhance your cognitive flexibility when you learn a second language. When your cognitive flexibility is enhanced, you are better at multitasking, with adapting skills, out-of-the-box thinking, and all of this encourages more creativity. Alongside those benefits are also the facts that it improves memory, it encourages cultural appreciation, and it also gives more appreciation for the written word. One big main thing that I could not fit on this slide, because there's too many pros, is, well, not too many, so many, is one major benefit of learning a second language is many people that have learned a second language have been proven that they have lower chances of cognitive decline, such as dementia and Alzheimer's. So, what have we learned from all this? Well, we have learned that everyone can learn another language and be able to gain the benefits from learning that. But children gain the most benefits because when young children are multilingual, this makes it so as they get older, they are able to expand their knowledge and skills they have. Also, the sooner that you learn a skill and you're able to gain that skill, the sooner you are able to enhance that skill and make that skill better. So as you get older, you're able to improve on it. Next, we've seen how children are able to learn a lot easier than adults because their creative minds are designed for learning, while our adult minds, as we get older, are more designed for performing what we have learned as children. And lastly, we have also seen how there are many downsides to being multilingual, but there are also very many good sides and very, very many benefits. So we would be able to look at that and figure out that the pros outweigh the cons. But as this presentation comes to an end, I end it by saying, since children are the future and the leaders of tomorrow, we need to take the steps and prepare them. Like Israel Moore Ivor said, just as a bird needs wings to fly, a leader needs useful information to flow. Leaders learn. Thank you.